Oops, I hit stop. Well, here's part 2 of my video. This was a cabin of a sheep herder. What a tiny little house. Now we're getting to the center of town. It's just like the other park, nobody's here but me. Guess people don't like history as much as Poppy. This is a photographer's building. Wow, look at these old cameras. This is very cool. And here's the guy taking the picture. There's the Mama mannequin and the Addie Luna mannequin. Here's a drugstore. Wow, here's the same store in 1880 in Bakersfield. They moved it to this museum. And there's all the different medicines. Oh, look at that old cash register. That's what a telephone used to look like. You would take this one part and hold it up to your ear and then speak into the other part. Ooh, let's go look at the train. This is a Southern Pacific Railroad car. Oh, look at the wheels. They're huge. There's the bell on top. And the engineer who drove the train would be up there. I wish I could go in. And here's the trolley car at the end of the train. That's the inside of the trolley. There's another senior. That's good. I thought I really was the only one. Let's go in this building. I think this is a boarding house. It's kind of like a hotel where people would stay for a long time. Especially like young ladies would stay in a place like this if they weren't married yet. There's one of the bedrooms. Oh yeah, there's the lady's hat in the corner. These big pianos were very important in these old houses because there was no TV or radio or internet. So the entertainment is that someone would play the piano and everyone would sing songs. Look at this, it's an old style toilet. Oh, it's so dark though you can't see, but there's like a box up here and you'd pull that to flush it. Too bad that was so dark. That was pretty interesting. Now here's the school built in 1882. And there it is when it was out on the farm. And they moved it to the museum. It's the same building. It's a lot like the school we saw at the other museum. All the kids would be in this one room with one teacher, no matter how old they were. And there's the heater, because it would be really cold. And they have a picture of George Washington on the wall too. Do you see that hat next to the Christmas tree? It's like a tall cone. It says dunce on it. That was called a dunce hat, and if you were bad, then the teacher would make you wear that. It was like a punishment. Let's go to the church, your favorite. Here's the church when it was out on the farm. Same one, they moved it. Here's the inside. Well, I know you're not that interested in churches. Here's a barn. They have all the different old types of farm tractors and scrapers. There's an old mower. You would sit there in that chair or something. Poppy doesn't know much about farming. This is called a cook wagon, and it was like a portable kitchen on wheels. And they would bring it out to the farms where the farmers were working and field hands were working. And they would cook meals for them in here, you see. And then bring the meals out to the farmers. There's the stove. There's the old water tank for the city. And here's the courthouse and jail. I always thought this was funny. In these old towns, the courthouse would be upstairs and the jail would be downstairs. And the judge would sit there, and if he would find that the defendant had to go to jail, and he'd just go right downstairs into the jail. And here's the jail. Oh boy, I wouldn't want to be locked in there. The sheriff's office was downstairs too. There's a sign saying there's a reward if somebody catches that bad guy there. Actually don't know what these are. Let's see. They're trying to get oil out of the ground because oil is very valuable and you can make a lot of money from it. Let's see what's over here. Oh, a market. Oh my gosh, it's another old gas station. This is the trip of old gas stations. Number 3. These look a lot like the ones in El Paso we saw. Here's the old Coke bottles. The calendar says 1944. Most of the buildings in this museum are from about 100 years ago, but that one is a little bit newer. 2 years after Grandpa Tom was born and 2 years before Grandma Carol was born. Now before they had the type of hotels that Poppy stays at, hotels were more like this. And you get a room and they would also cook you a meal. Here's a picture of the real hotel. Too bad it's locked. It's too dark to see in there, but it was interesting. Now this is what the inside looks like. I peeked in, except there's no people, it's just the chairs. And look, this is the same hotel, the exact same building, about 100 years ago, 102 years ago. They called oil the black gold because it was black, but it was worth so much money, it was like gold. And the reason it was worth so much money was because they used it to power trains and later cars. So people really wanted it. Wow, look at this. This is the inside of the tower that I was just showing you. That wheel is huge, it's taller than Poppy. And what it's doing is drilling a hole into the ground to get the oil out. This fellow owned this house in Bakersfield. And here's the same house now. And look how they got it here. This is like the house Poppy saw on the highway, remember? I like gazebos. Do you remember the time we were playing in that park in Mexico and we were playing in the gazebo? Mama was in a meeting with Yoko Yani or something. Maybe not, because you were like 2 years old. This is a doctor's office. Oh wow, this is interesting. Look what a doctor's office used to look like. This must be where they put the baby after it was born. Just guessing. And that's what the doctor wore on his forehead. And there's the doctors. Ooh, here's something you won't like. They used to do that, can you believe it? Out west, hunting was very popular. Here's the bank. There's another old style telephone. And do you know what a typewriter was? There's a typewriter. You'd come up to this window to get your money. Oh my gosh, the senior told me they're closing the museum. Run, Poppy. Too bad we have some buildings left to see. He seems pretty excited to close up though. Let's try to see one more really quick. This is a barber shop, but you could also come to take a bath if you wanted for just 25 cents. And there is so much open land, you'd come to this office to buy land if you wanted to. Like all these people are coming to the building to try to buy land because there was so much open space. Well, it was a great museum. And here's one last look before we go. Ooh, one last one. And we're in Bakersfield.